America now has, well, the US now has, it's been for a while now that the black male and the black female, let's call them men and women. I want them to be men and women more than males and females. But when they spend so much time in argument, disagreement, I feel embarrassment. I feel embarrassed to see these people have children, right? Some have grandchildren. They're adults and they're fighting. They're always fighting. It's as though the American people have been programmed to fight each other. And in this instance, as most, it's gender warring. So now the big fuss is about, and it's like every other month, there is a subject that takes hold of their nation and has them battling each other, and they're not seeing. They're so busy lashing out at each other, and there is not just the vitriol, but there's outright hate. They hate each other. They've been taught, they've been conditioned to hate themselves so much that they are projecting the hatred onto their counterparts. So I just dance a little sidestep and try not to get involved in the discourse, because first of all, they're fighting over Hollywood productions. Hollywood productions, especially those not produced by black people. Now it's 3 white women produced a film about Dahomey warriors, and they call it the woman king. And there's a huge major dispute there. So one side is up in arms because they don't appreciate the masculinization of black womanhood. Black women always being seen as masculine, as the black male is being further emasculated. It's as though in representation of blackness online, for instance, on screens, TV, movies, wherever, it's always the black woman is strong and tough and masculine looking, and the black male put in a dress, feminized, and it's ha ha he kiki. It's to me disturbing, and that the black people keep falling right into it. And as long as they're getting paid, as long as they're making loads of money, as long as they got an award, as long as they're being represented, it don't matter what they're being represented as, they'll be the slave forever. They don't see the psychological damage that it's done to them, that they're so eager to eat up productions regarding slavery. Your whole legacy, your whole history does not have to be only about slavery. I'm a black person and I cannot relate to that. I've never watched a slave narrative. I've never watched a movie or TV program, like Roots or Mississippi Burning or any of these things they would feed to our children. Every day you come from school, there's Roots. For the whole week they are watching Roots. They go to school in the morning and they're discussing what they watched on TV last night, or Roots again, Kunta Kinte. I never could relate to that. My background is indigenous. My people were not slaves. And even if they were, I wouldn't want to be reminded always that, as though they keep you in that place. Know your place. You're a slave. You've always been a slave and you always will be a slave. And they're fighting for that position as slave. Because, hey, we're represented. At least we're represented. She's going to win an award. Please. So, you are usually reflected as being undignified. I've been noticing ever since Meghan Markle married, Harry. And I notice all the time, this seems like white women especially, they hate Meghan Markle. They talk about what a bitch she is, and she bringing down the royal family, and like they just have nothing ever that is good, positive, or uplifting. It's always just venomous and hatred, exposing their racism. Now, I don't know a thing about Meghan Markle, so how can I say that she's a good or bad person? I've never been in the same room with her. I've never been anywhere with her. I've never watched her in a program. She's supposedly an actress, Hollywood, and I never saw whatever she was acting in. I've never watched her in an interview. I really don't care about monarchies, and royal families. I just don't see how it relates to my life. So I don't really even invest any of my time or energy into this. But the black people have been programmed to eat that shit up. Like it's so good for them, but it's not. And one thing I noticed, they're always trying to make Kate, is that their name? The one married to William. They're always comparing Kate to Meghan. They're comparing apples and oranges, like comparing apples and mangoes. Meghan Markle is not a black woman. She's biracial. She's mixed race. But the hatred for the black woman is just so strong that they gotta take jabs at her. And so I never cared for her based on how these people speak, because you are kind of influenced by what's going on out there, whether you want to believe it or not. And why would I hate Meghan Markle or hate Kate? I don't know these people. I'm indifferent, and I cannot take a side. But what I'm seeing is they described Kate. They described Kate as ethereal. Compared to Meghan, she looks so ethereal. I'm like, what the hell? What is the definition of ethereal? It is extremely delicate and light in a way that seems too perfect for this world. So it's okay for a white woman to be ethereal, but a black woman can never be. And that is more of that psychological damage. And black people need to stop watching them, stop listening to them, stop following them. But no, the black people are first in line. They stay up all night so they can watch the royals get married. And like, these are things I can't relate to. And I find so irksome. It drives me up the wall. Like, it's sickening. When especially, the context of slavery and your heritage come from slaves and Africa, and I can't relate to that. I cannot trace my family tree to Africa, and I have many friends, acquaintances. I hire African people to work for me, so don't try and say I'm anti-African either. I am closer to them than you all who are fighting for, we are slaves, we were slaves. You're going to always be slaves and nothing else? No, we were not slaves. We were land owning. Not that we were land barons. We just had some land where we could grow food and not starve and not have to go to the store. We could go to the river, to the sea, fishing, to the trees, catching birds, raising chickens, running around in the yard, down to earth people. That's what I relate to. I can't relate to the monarchs, and I can't relate to the slaves. What about our stories, the indigenous people? No, they try, instead of showing indigenous people, they keep doing that native nonsense. Native Americans. They look like they came from Siberia. They look like they are related to the Chinese. Well, there's a lot of Asians. People are being displaced and, moved around here, sent here. Oh, you have to evacuate. You got to leave your land. You got to leave your home and go there. Move to there. Refugees. Right? They are holding on to these narratives. Slavery, royalty. And they are rewarding the royals who have done the worst damage to this world. And they are just content to remain a slave. They fight for the right to be slave. I hear about the Dahomey warriors, what they were doing. They were slave catchers. They were catching slaves to sell to the white man. They were catching black African people, selling them into slavery. They were not slaves. They were made to be. They were enslaved. It's a very different. You were enslaved. You didn't come as a slave. They made you a slave. So how do they get rewarded with some film? Oh, because some 3 white women decided that's a good idea to display the black woman as masculinized. They were tough and they were strong. Yeah, we already know how tough and strong black women are. Let's be more than just tough and strong. Because if we're going to only be tough and strong, there's nothing else for our men to be but emasculated, to be weak and feminized and ready for their bussy popping, their anal attacks, the homosexuality you've been pushing on us. And now we can't call them pedo womp, womp, womp. We got to change the whole language because now we've made it acceptable that, let's make room for the minor attracted persons. I was a baby. I was an infant in a crib, and a minor attracted person came to my crib when I was a baby, months old, and put his mouth on my genitals. And that traumatized me. And the memory was repressed until I was the age of 27, when it came back to me in a flashback, and it all made sense, things that had been said to me over the years. I realized why I was so fearful of black things. Because the man who lowered his head into my crib, he had a big afro. He had facial hair like sideburns, and I was horrified. And I was inappropriately touched by this man. And no one can tell me that that's okay. And I've spoken extensively to these wankers who are doing damage to children while they're wanking. And now they have a place in the world. And I can't call them what they are, what they were originally called, right? Before they were called minor attracted persons, they were called something else. And because I speak on this, I'm demonetized. I'm placed low in the queue. I'm made invisible. And still I continue to speak. Black people, you don't follow those who have been oppressing you for so long, but that's what you choose to do. I heard Viola Davis. Her big thing was to be able to be shown kissing a white character on screen. Really? 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 That's it for you? You're married to a black man and you just fantasizing, dreaming of the day you get to have a white male love interest in a film, and you can be seen kissing him. So what do you do when you're in bed with your husband? If you still do that with him, are you like having the wildest orgasms because you're thinking of that white guy you were kissing in a movie? I don't know, that's creepy. The whole thing is creepy. And don't even try to say that I'm racist, because how long ago has it been? It was many years ago, many moons ago. I have had boyfriends who were not black. And not only that, I had the absolute worst and the absolute best. They were sharing the birthday. They were born on May 24th. The first one was evil, wicked, abusive, Italian. And then the next boyfriend happened to have the same birthday, May 24th, Gemini. And he was the exact opposite of that Italian who had abused me, was into beating, was getting drunk, drinking vodka and orange juice, screwdrivers, and drinking 24 beer, and just smoking his hash, and would become a demon and attack me verbally, physically. He would sing to me, rah, rah, pick a bale of cotton, when I was in distress because he was violating me, abusing me, and I would try to defend myself. He would sing, rah, rah, pick a bale of cotton, rah, rah, pick a bale of cotton, rah, rah, pick a bale of cotton. That's what the Italian did. Claudio. Yes, I remember. Right? So, I don't know about Viola Davis just dreaming of on stage, on screen, being viewed by many so they can see her in an interracial scene. That's bizarre to me. That's bizarre to me. But thankfully, the flip side of this is I did have the German boyfriend who was very good to me, treated me very well. His mother sent me a letter of invite to Hamburg, and I went there and I was treated royally. I was treated very well. And that's all that matters in this world. Who is on your side? Who is good and who is evil? Never mind this friggin' race shit. Never mind this money pit. No, it's about love. And what have you got in your heart? And what have they got in their hearts? You want to be aligned with those who are connected to source, which means they have love in their hearts. An army of black women, warriors, who set forth to capture African people, to sell them into slavery. That's not something to be celebrated. I don't give a shit, especially that it's produced by 3 white females. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. Don't comment, comment, don't comment. It's all good. I'm Domina Della Pie, Mistress Sasha Storm. Thank you. Good day.